Guys, I ain't gonna lie. I just did a video about how certain wrestlers, right, took their time to reach the top. Bro, I'm no one, I swear I've done this video before. Bro, I've been looking through my phone and I can't find it. I know I've done this video before. Cause I'm gonna redo it. I mean, Chelsea Green just won the WWE Women's title. So why not? I mean, congrats to Chelsea Green. So guys, I did a video about industry plants in WWE, wrestlers that were like immediately in the main event once they entered the Fed. But now I'm gonna do the opposite of that. Wrestlers that took their time to reach that main event spot. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, first, Chelsea Green, the woman herself, the WWE Women's Champion. I mean, bro, no one expected her to win the match. You know, the underdog. You know what I mean? Chelsea Green, man. Guys, Chelsea, she was in the WWE. She started her career, as some Karen. And then she went over SmackDown. She became the US champion. And she was, guys, Chelsea, she kind of was moving like she had the Secret Service around her. Chelsea Green, she's like the female version of The Miz. Guys, y'all remember when The Miz was around Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas? Yeah. That 2017-2018 era? Yeah. You know? And then guys, I think Chelsea, she was a two-time US champion. I know she's a women's champion. She won the ladder match at SummerSlam up against Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Lash legend, Tiffany Stratton, the US champion. You know what I mean? So shout out to Chelsea. And guys, number 2, Becky Lynch. As we all know, Becky started out as a jobber. She was in that era with Bayley, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. But Becky, she was the one out of the 4 horsewomen, ladies and gentlemen, that didn't receive special treatment. She was the one that wasn't getting the special treatment. You know what I mean? And Becky, she was on SmackDown, the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. And then she lost it to Alexa Bliss because, guys, we all know Vince favored Alexa. So Becky, she was just losing matches left, right, and center until the real life rivalry with Becky Lynch. Guys, did I know that Becky Lynch was in a real life rivalry with Charlotte? She didn't like Charlotte in real life. Like, this rivalry was real. Yeah. Especially that segment where Becky threw the title at Charlotte and Sasha Banks came out and she said the word bitch, and Charlotte said it was a PG show. Guys, that segment up to this day is receiving a lot of views. Bro, people are still watching it up to this day, dog. And shout out to Sasha, man. Shout out to Sasha. Guys, would Sasha be on this list? She was in the main event, but Sasha, she wasn't in her prime, so I think Sasha she wouldn't qualify for this list, right? Guys, number 3, Bobby Lashley. I mean, bro, Bobby started in ECW, then he went on the main roster. He was basically doing nothing. He was in the Battle of the Billionaires match between Donald Trump and Vince McMahon. It was Bobby Lashley going up against Umaga. You know what I mean? And yeah, guys, I think Bobby left the WWE. He went to the MMA, came back in wrestling, went into TNA, had an awesome rival with MVP, and he came back with a Hurt Business. Bro, Bobby look like a legit wrestler, bro. Bro, the way how Vince repackaged him, it was perfect. The whole Hurt Business storyline, I didn't like how Vince ended it. But bro, Bobby looked like a star, bro. And guys, by the way, Big E cashing his money in the bank on Bobby, which was so good to witness, especially as a black wrestling fan. You know what I mean? And then guys, even look at Big E, right? Big E started out as the IC champion when he was in that storyline with AJ Lee, and Dolph Ziggler. And then Big E, he went in the tag team division with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. became one of the longest reigning tag team champions. The Usos surpassed them, right? Guys, I can't believe the Usos surpassed the New Day. Bro, like, this feels like something that didn't happen. Like, honestly, 600 odd days. As I was saying, broski, yeah, and then, New Day, he went to rivals with Lucas and Carl Anderson, Enzo and Cass, you know, the Usos, you know what I mean? And the New Day, they became superstars, and Big E, cashed in, he won the Money in the Bank, and he became the WWE champion. Although Big E title reign was, it was boring. But shout out to Big E, man. As next but not least, Kofi Kingston. I mean, what can I say, bro? Kofi, he was multiple time IC champion, US champion. Kofi was always in the mid card. Then he ran into Randy Orton when Randy called him stupid, which kinda effed up Kofi's career. Kofi was in a tag team with CM Punk for a little bit, but Punk went into the main event while Kofi was stuck in the mid card. And then, guys, Kofi joined the New Day because, I mean, bro, Kofi was just in the mid card, bro. Like, he was doing nothing, right? And oh yeah, Kofi's the highlight of the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble belongs to Kofi, bro. Like, honestly, as I was saying, and then, guys, Kofi Mania happened because, bro, I believe that Mustafa Ali was supposed to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, but he got injured, so Kofi took his place, right? Guys, Kofi got pushed because of luck. It was because of luck, bro. This wasn't planned, bro. Kofi wasn't supposed to win the title. And then Kofi won at WrestleMania, He had a lackluster title reign, but the first ever African WWE champion, boy oh boy. And then, guys, Kofi lost his title to Brock Lesnar in 9 seconds, which made no sense, dog. None. Makes no sense. Zero. You know what I mean? And, guys, next up, Mark Henry. I mean, bro, Mark Henry started out in WWE as sexual chocolate, right? And then, he's on a storyline with The Rock. Then The Rock went in the main event, and Mark Henry basically, he wasn't doing anything, really. And then Mark Henry came in, right? Changed up his gimmick as the world's strongest man, right? He wasn't a feud with Batista, but Batista got injured. So Mark Henry push, he kind of got delayed. And then, Mark Henry, like, he was just there. He went to ECW. He had the title, but bro, Vince repackaged Mark Henry again. Guys, you have to remember, Mark Henry changed his gimmick 3 times. He was sexual chocolate, right? Then he went to the world's strongest man, the ruthless aggression era version of him. Then the Hall of Pain, the Hall of Pain gimmick. This is where Mark Henry was in his prime, bro. Bro, Mark Henry was going through everyone on SmackDown. Randy Orton, The Big Show, and Daniel Bryan. Bro, like, Mark Henry was seen as a beast. And Kane too. Kane made him look strong, dog. Shout out to Kane. You know what I mean? And guys, that retirement speech against John Cena, bro, that promo will live on forever, bro. Honestly. Yeah, man, shout out to Mark Henry, bro. Shout out to Mark Henry. And guys, next up, AJ Lee. Let me shine some light on the ladies, huh? So guys, AJ Lee, she basically started out as the modern day version of Trish Stratus. AJ Lee, she was in storylines with Cody Rhodes. Guys, I can't believe AJ Lee kissed Cody Rhodes. Man, bro. As I was saying, and then AJ Lee shows his storyline with John Cena and with Dolph Ziggler. Bro, AJ Lee's character, she was basically like Trish Stratus, bro. Being around a lot of men. That was basically AJ Lee's gimmick. And then, guys, AJ Lee got serious Vince repackaged her, thank God, and AJ Lee became the Divas champion, right? The OG gimmick that people know her as, you know, the second longest reign as a Divas champion. Bro, why the hell is Nikki Bella the longest reigning Divas champion? Nikki Bella, bro? Nikki Bella. As I was saying, bro, AJ Lee was the best champion, bro. Guys, especially that promo that she cut on Nikki Bella, so that she did everything in 1 year that Nikki Bella would do in her entire career. Guys, y'all remember when AJ Lee birthed the women's division? Bro, AJ was in her prime, bro. And that rivalry with Paige, that was so good. That was so good, dog. That was so good. Who else I can talk about? Let's talk about the ladies. Naomi. Bro, even look at Naomi. Because, guys, I don't know if y'all remember, but Naomi was in the same era as AJ Lee. She was on the OG version of NXT. That game show era. That shit era. Right? Bro, Naomi and AJ Lee, they came up together. Right? Bro, like, that's how long Naomi was in the WWE. And then, guys, you know, Naomi, she was in this feud with AJ Lee. Guys, by the way, did y'all know that when AJ Lee was a Divas champion, Naomi pinned her twice? Guys, Naomi pinned AJ Lee twice when she was in her prime. But AJ beat her at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Guys, Naomi, she was always chasing for the title, but she wasn't doing anything special. And then, guys, the brand split happened, which really rejuvenated Naomi's career. So, guys, you know, Naomi, she was a SmackDown brand. She was in the upper mid-card. And then Naomi became the SmackDown Women's Champion. Right? And I think she's the first ever black woman to win it. Yeah, she is. Right? Shout out to Naomi. But then, guys, she had to vacate it due to injury. Then she came back and won it at WrestleMania by tapping out Alexa Bliss. Guys, Naomi had a weird title run. But, bro, I really miss Naomi's old entrance. Man, those were the days, dog. Those were the days. And then, guys, at SummerSlam, Naomi lost it to Natalya, which made no sense. And Natalya lost it to Charlotte. So, looks like Vince was protecting her. You know? You know what I mean? And then, guys, who else? Who else, bro? Who else? Guys, I think The Rock would probably be an honorable mention, but bro, I think The Rock was an industry plant. But The Rock, bro, The Rock took his time to reach into the main event. He was Rocky Maivia, right? The fans booed him, they rejected him. Then The Rock, right? You know what I mean? You know, he was a nation of domination, right? He was an IC champion. And then he became Corporate Rock when he joined Vince McMahon, right? And The Rock became a star, bro. The Rock became a star, right? And always took their way to the top, you know. Honorable mentions, you know. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, you know what I mean? Honorable mentions. Oh no, yeah, guys, I just remembered the man himself, JBL. I mean, bro, what can I say? You know, JBL was as a tag team. Guys, I've been watching the rivalry JBL and Eddie Guerrero, right? JBL started as a tag team, you know, and became WWE champion just like that. Bro, JBL was just seen as a tag team wrestler, but Vince put the title on him. And JBL became one of the... Guys, I ain't gonna lie. Vince shot the ball with JBL. Bro, JBL was like one of the most disgusting heels on SmackDown. Guys, I know a lot of people ain't talking about this because, bro, I think JBL just turned heel so he can put over John Cena. Honestly. And guys, by the way, that JBL and John Cena rivalry was so good, bro. It was so good. Guys, Vince, he should have kept pushing JBL. Dog, JBL had a lot of potential, dog. He had a lot of potential. Bro, I don't know what the hell happened to JBL, dog. Like, honestly. But, as I was saying, and guys, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, right? The greatest Latino wrestler. I mean, bro, what can I say? The smartest wrestler. You know, Eddie Guerrero, he's a storyline with China, you know, and he was basically in the mid card. And then Eddie defeated Brock Lesnar. for the WWE Championship at No Way Out. Bro, would have thought that Eddie would have beaten Brock Lesnar for the title. Eddie Guerrero, fam? Eddie Guerrero. Guys, I was saying, yeah, it was in that, rivalry JBL where Eddie lost his title. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, you guys, the time Eddie defended the WWE Championship against Kurt Angle, and when Eddie celebrated his championship win with Chris Benoit, you know what I mean? Guys, I won't mention Chris Benoit on this video. Screw him, bro. Bro, you killed yourself and you killed your wife and your child. F you, bro. F you, dog. F you. Dog, what the hell? As I was saying, yeah. Eddie Guerrero, man. R.I.P., bro. R.I.P. And guys, I think that's it for my. Oh yeah, bro, I forgot. Rey Mysterio, honorable mention. Honorable mention. And Chris Jericho too. They both came to WWE from WCW. Guys, Chris Jericho, he was in the main event automatically, so I won't really count him. But Rey Mysterio, I think he's the one that really took his time to reach to the top. Guys, y'all know Rey Mysterio. He was basically in the mid card, and then Rey finally won the big one when he won the heavyweight championship against Kurt Angle and Randy Orton, and he dedicated his Royal Rumble win to Eddie Guerrero, and then Rey lost it to the Great Khali, which made no sense, dog. Which made no sense. But shout out to Rey Mysterio, man. Shout out to Rey Mysterio. And guys, I think that's the list of wrestlers that took a long time to reach their peak. Oh, you guys, I forgot to mention Mandy Rose. I mean, what can I say, bro? Mandy Rose, she was in the WWE, right? And then, guys, I think Mandy made her debut with Paige, or was before that. Guys, Mandy was basically a jobber, And then she was in that tag team with Paige, and Paige got injured, so they had to abandon the storyline. And then, guys, Mandy Rose, she was this weird storyline with Sonya Deville and with Otis, bro. The Otis rivalry with Dolph Ziggler was fire, bro. That shit was fire. And then, guys, I think after that, Mandy Rose went in this weird storyline with Naomi, where Mandy was trying to seduce Jay. I'm sorry, it was Jimmy, right? And yeah, bro. Yeah. And then nothing was going on for her, like nothing. And guys, Mandy shows in this tag team. They tried the babyface thing and it never worked. And guys, this was when we were in the pandemic era of wrestling. This is where the fans didn't show up, right? And then, guys, Mandy went into NXT, which rejuvenated her career. Mandy Rose became one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions against JC Jane. And because I forgot that other woman name, but she really elevated him, bro. Mandy made Roxanne into a star, bro, and JC Jane. Look at Roxanne and JC Jane now, Shout out to Mandy, man. Shout out to Mandy. I mean, Mandy was beating everybody. Cora Jade, Raquel, Dakota Kai, Alba Fire, everybody, bro. And guys, I can't believe Mandy Rose is the last ever woman to be the NXT UK Women's Champion. Guys, I know that WWE, they had to bury that show because no one was watching it, dog. Like, literally nobody was watching it. Guys, fun fact, did you know that Bron Breakker is the last guy to win the NXT UK Championship? But bro, I ain't gonna lie, dog, the NXT UK title looks so good. Bro, that title design looked so good, dog. It looked so good, bro. Man. Because I thought NXT UK was a forgotten show. But man, that title design, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. And guys, I think that's the list of wrestlers that took time to reach their peaks. Guys, remember, Like, share, and subscribe. It's Eat Wrestling. Signing out. Peace. Guys, I even forgot to mention John Cena. Yes, guys, John Cena. John Cena also took his time, you know, to reach his peak. He was on SmackDown, tour. Then he went in a rival with Brock Lesnar for the first time. Then he became the US champion. Guys, by the way, to this day, John Cena is the best US champion. No one has been a better US champion than John Cena. Nobody. You can probably put Eddie Guerrero, but nobody, dog. And then he became the WWE champion. So it took like John Cena, 3 years to win the title? And then, guys, we have Edge. Edge. He was in the tag team with Christian. And then, greatest tag team champions of all time. One of the greatest. The Dudley Boys, the Hardys. The greatest of all time. WrestleMania 17, SummerSlam, the first of a TLC match, right? Edge. And then, guys, Edge, after that, he split up with Christian, right? And then he went into the mid card, became the IC champion. And then, guys, the whole thing with Matt Hardy and Lita happened. The whole thing happened with Lita, Matt Hardy, and this is where Edge became a star. Guys, I ain't gonna lie, Edge might be the most disgusting heel in the wrestling business. Guys, I'll talk about Edge. Guys, is Edge the most despicable heel in wrestling? Guys, I think Edge might be the best heel in wrestling, dog. Bro, it's either Edge or it's Randy Orton. Bro, I need to do a video about this, dog. Honestly. But as I was saying, yeah, Lita, she effed on Matt Hardy with Edge. And this led to Edge being a main eventer, former WWE champion and world heavyweight champion. And guys, speaking about Edge, last but not least, Christian. Guys, I think Christian might be the wrestler that took the longest to reach his peak. Bro, I might be wrong, but I think it's Christian, bro. I think Christian might be the wrestler that have the record. Guys, look at Christian. He was in WWE with Edge, one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. Then, he went on his own. He was a jobber. He was a short storyline with John Cena, but it didn't really mean anything. And then, guys, I think Christian, left WWE and he came back. And he was in that awful storyline with Randy Orton and SmackDown. Bro, that storyline was awful, bro. And then, guys, Christian, he went to AEW, became one of the greatest TNT champions ever. Bro, shout out to Cody. But Christian made that title, bro. He made that title. Especially the rival with Edge. You know what I mean? And the whole Patriarch storyline. Bro, Christian is the greatest TNT champion. And I don't care what nobody says, bro. I know he's tag team champions with Edge once again. Going up against the Young Bucks at All In. So guys, tell me, wrestler that took long to reach their peak. It's Eat Wrestling, signing out.